Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true.
Seaford High School mourns after groundsman killed in shooting. There is a somber mood at the Seaford High School in St. Thomas following the early morning murder of the groundsman employed to the school. He has been identified as 41-year-old Leon White of Capture Land, Seaford. According to reports, sometime after 1 o'clock, residents of Capture Land heard explosions and alerted the police. The police visited the area but found nothing. Mr. White's body, with bullet wounds, was later found at his house by his girlfriend. Speaking with reporters, Colbert Thomas, the principal of Seaford High School, said the incident has affected students. He said Mr. White was well respected and a good worker. He's one of those groundsmen who you could count on to do anything, to just be there every time with anything. He's always respectful to administration. He got along well with the children, got along well with the teachers, got along well with other colleagues who work on the ground, Mr. Thomas recounted. He said students related to the deceased are allowed to leave their exams to allow them to grieve. Mark for death. Just as Marlon Irwin, otherwise called Moto, dropped off 3 of his 5 children at a relative's home in this deep rural Manchester community of Broadleaf, gunmen ambushed and killed him on Tuesday. Broadleaf is located south of Poros and east of Royal Flat in Manchester. Ern was reported on a death list and had been warned by the police to leave his native community Hampton, in Broadleaf and Manchester overall, 3 months ago, after 2 men believed to have been sent from St. Catherine to kill him were detained and later released. Muta was on the list to be killed, because we prevented him from being killed sometime in September, and we held 2 men that we understood came to kill him, but we never found the gun on them, a reliable police source stated. In September, Oren reportedly yielded the warning and fled for his safety, but unknowingly to the police, he returned to Broadleaf. Mota was taken in the same day in September, and we told him the information that we received. The men were out to kill him, so he must leave the parish. We did not even know that he came back, the source said. Police believe Oren was involved in a gang conflict over a prolonged period. A police report said about 7 a.m. on Tuesday, Oren was driving his Toyota Axio motor car on the Hampton Main Road when gunmen traveling in another vehicle attacked him. The gunmen opened fire and hit Irwin multiple times. He was taken to hospital where he was pronounced dead. A resident who asked not to be named said Irwin was a quiet person. In the area hear him live. He no give no trouble. Me no know of him as a troublemaker at all, said the resident. When asked what Irwin did for a living, a resident told a contrasting story. You know when most of the young boy them run here do already. Them find for them way for work, he said in an apparent reference to lottery scamming. Them no want do no farming. Them find easy way to make money, he added. Police sources said Irwin was suspected of being involved in lottery scamming. Another resident described Irwin as a caring and responsible father. It's year him born and raised, a humble youth, a 5 little youth him gone leave. Him bring 3 of them up here to give to the mother to send them go school and buy him come back in the lane. That happened, the resident said. Indicom reports 130 fatal shooting by security forces. The Independent Commission of Investigations Indicom is reporting that there have been 130 fatal shooting involving members of the security forces up to December 8 this year. Commissioner Hugh Faulkner provided the figures Thursday morning at the Indicom's quarterly press briefing. From January to November, he said there were 126 fatalities, a 2% increase over the 123 recorded during the same period last year. 4 fatalities have been recorded so far in December. Mr. Faulkner also presented recommendations from Indicom following 668 investigations carried out by the Commission. While 609 cases could not be furthered, he noted that in 46 cases, disciplinary action was recommended for 68 officers. 9 cases recommended that the 10th officer involved be charged. There were 4 cases involving 5 officers, where recommendation was made for the officers to be charged and for disciplinary process to be pursued, he added.
January, the first month of the year, we had 8 fatal shootings. 13 February, 10 in March, 9 in April, May at 6, June 7, July 15, August 15, September 14, and October exceeded all the other months, and we recorded 21 fatalities. And this we find to be extraordinary. November, we recorded 8, and for December, as I indicated, so far, we have recorded 4 fatalities. So for January to November 2022, 211 persons were shot and killed or shot and injured. That's a combined total. In 75 of those, no gun was recovered. If I break it down further, of the 211, 20 were killed and 28 injured, from whom our investigation so far revealed no gun or no weapon recovered. 27 of the 211 who were killed or injured, no gun was recovered, but other weapon was reported as being recovered. So of this 27, 13 were killed, 14 injured, no gun, but some other weapon was recovered. And of the 48, 20 killed, 28 injured, no gun and no weapon was recovered. That 13% equates to 27 persons with mental health issues who, in confrontation with the security forces, were shot and killed or shot and injured. So of the 27, 12 resulted in fatalities of persons deemed to be mentally ill, and 15 persons reported with mental health issues were injured. So that gives you the total of 27. And we cannot but repeat that we are mindful that there are instances where imminent danger may be faced by the security forces. But in general, we recommend that steps be taken to de-escalate the threats posed by persons with mental illness.
Clinical psychologists needed for ZOZOs. National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang says the state has been finding it difficult to recruit clinical psychologists to support interventions in the zones of Special Operations ZOZO, resulting in challenges with psychosocial services. Speaking in the House of Representatives on Tuesday, following the tabling of orders for the extension of ZOZOs in Mount Salem, Denham Town, Greenwich Town, August Town, Norwood, Parade Gardens, and Savannah Lamar, Dr. Chang said the shortage is due to the fact that most Jamaicans who study that discipline do not focus on clinical psychology. However, he said efforts were being made to resolve that issue as the government tries to broaden the provision of that service to communities in the ZOZOs. Dr. Chang told the House of Representatives that there have been significant changes in the ZOZO areas, as in addition to the reduction in crimes, there is a significant cooperation between the police and residents. He said naturally, some of the security features of the states of the public emergency SOEs have overlapped with ZOZO security operations, stressing that the zones are in keeping with a social development model with the aim of ensuring that the services are institutionalized. Dr. Chang noted that when challenges are identified through schools, for example, the authorities work with the family to alleviate those issues. Opposition Member of Parliament for Northwestern Manchester, Michael Phillips, had asked for some indication of the successes outside the community development measures and questioned whether the crime-fighting measure under the ZOZOs have failed, forcing government to resort to the use of SOEs. Dr. Chang, in his update, said so far the Social Intervention Committee has managed the implementation of over $300 million in investment in Mount Salem, while in Denham Town, capacity building of the Community Development Committee CDC saw investments of more than $20 million being directly managed at the community level, creating job opportunities for residents and increasing governance and accountability. Furthermore, he advised that Greenwich Town had its single large period of public investment, which includes the third phase of an enterprise grant and infrastructural upgrade. The work plan for the community as well as the community priority plans indicated that there is need for additional investments. These are being identified and the required allocations are being considered, he reported. He added, August Town continues to show promising results. The Social Intervention Committee continues to engage and provide critical guidance to the sustainable build out of interventions within the area. With more than $200 million committed to date, the zone remains on track and will achieve its intended objective of a safer and better community. Meanwhile, in Norwood, ZOZO is to receive significant build-out of infrastructure, including supporting the rehabilitation of road and water supply. He said there are approximately $300 million in approved projects to be implemented in the community over the next 2 years. The Parade Garden Zozo and Savannah Lamar Zozos, meanwhile, are still at the developmental stage. The House approved the extension of the Zozos for another 60 days.
Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification